Welcome to our LinkedIn Live program. My name is Gerhard Schwartner. I'm the founder and publisher of Selling Power magazine. And with me is Marc McNamara. He is the CEO of the Enablement Group, and he will do a keynote, an opening keynote on Friday, September 8th in Las Vegas at Green Valley Ranch. And he'll talk about mastering effective sales enablement. Why is it important for companies to be sales enablement ready before they can adopt a strategy and put programs in place?
Well, it's a great question, Gerhard. And first of all, I'm excited to be telling people. And for me, I would probably say what's old is new again, right? If we go back to what we were doing in the 90s, CRO Insights, Miller Hyman, everybody talking about sales and how do you empower the seller to be better. We talked a lot about sales training, but today training's dead. Nobody really does training in the traditional sense anymore. And the problem that we have is what's revolutionized everything is the fact that we've become a video, mobile, social, data-driven society, right?
Right.
But if we look at enablement and sales enablement, we've been making a mistake. We've been making a mistake, in my opinion. We've been making a mistake in that we've been concentrating on platforms to solve our problem, right? Sales enablement, has turned into, let's go buy software and that's going to be the panacea to making everything work, right? Yes. Can it make people more efficient? It can. But does it solve the problem? And what is the problem, right? I mean, you said something to me, I thought it was really interesting, and I want to pivot off of that. Everybody's talking about data is the new oil, okay?
Yeah.
What I want to say is, yes, it's oil. But when you're building your sales machine or your sales engine, oil's the lubricant, but you need fuel. Yeah. You need fuel. You know what the fuel is? Knowledge. Knowledge. If you're going to create a customer experience that gets you more customers, sales needs knowledge. Knowledge is the fuel that will move things forward because we're enabling sales, right? Got a lot of tools, but how do we make them smarter? And the thing that people need to remember is the core of this. And we've been talking about it for years, right? What does sales need? Sales needs institutional knowledge. How do I fill out or use this tool in the organization? They need product knowledge, right? How does it work? What does it do? They need sales knowledge, particularly as you're recruiting and bringing more and more younger people into your selling organization. They need technique. They don't know how to do that. Yeah. And then last, they need selling knowledge for that buyer's journey. What do I say and how do I say it, right? So that's the key. And how do you make that happen? It's really, really hard. And what it is at its core is a content or knowledge management process that'll get them there. And it's hard. Yeah. We've let all of that go. We don't have sales trainers anymore. We don't have librarians. We're expecting the technology to do that for us. So I'm going to stop just there and let you comment.
It gets harder because knowledge needs to be available in real time.
Correct.
So it has to be served up when it's needed, because knowledge that is in your mind or in your brain that is not usable is useless. Knowledge has to be king in the moment.
It does, and it has to be in a form that people are willing to consume and make it findable. Right? Even in a live format. I mean, we have a lot of knowledge in the organization, like sales engineers and your managers, but how do you even bring that forward in the environment that we live in, right? We have such a big tech stack, and we live on our phones, right? Particularly, what did I just see the other day? The king of virtual meetings is saying no more virtualness, come back to the office. I won't mention who it is, but if people are reading the Wall Street Journal, they know who I'm talking about, right? So what are we doing? We're going to be visiting people again. Where are we going to get that information before we walk through the door, the knowledge and encapsulate it in a form that's going to make me smart instantly at the point of need. That's going to happen from a curation process, from the ability to collect that knowledge, codify it, right? I mean, this is a great way to collect knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Recording it, but it doesn't necessarily make it useful. It's hard to search. It's hard to pick out what you want from, say, a video recording. So companies need to think differently about a process that actually captures that knowledge, codifies it, and puts it into a meaningful form or experience that sales wants and needs, and then taking advantage of the technology we have to organize it in such a way and package it to what we call content and context, right? I'm
Right,
about to
right.
go do this. Make me smart right now about this particular scenario, whether that's a persona scenario or a solution scenario or an industry scenario. Give it up to me in a way that I can quickly find what I need, educate myself in the moment, and sound knowledgeable and trustworthy when I'm talking to
Yeah.
that customer at that time.
I think there are really three dimensions that we need to look at when it comes to learning. One is learning new things. Second is unlearning the things that no longer serve us. And the third is relearning the things that work for us that we stop applying.
That's a great insight, Gerhard. I love talking to you because you really got some good insights. I kind of characterize it another way against that is that there's a pattern here. One of the first things is that we're so distracted. There's so much information that comes at us to that point.
Yep.
Is engagement. How do you even engage your salespeople in a meaningful way? Right. Information is just flying at them, internal, external, right? And then, you've got four things that I like to talk about that you have got to take them through, because it's no longer onboarding, it's everboarding.
Yes.
It's a continuous, ongoing process to create awareness, to get them to learn new things, to understand what to do with those learnings. And then ultimately, what do you want in a sales team? Competence. They need to be competent, right? And what do? We hire them off the street and we say, go sell, right? I remember when I started in the industry, IBM and Xerox, big companies, smart companies, you couldn't become an independent seller for 2 years.
Wow.
You had to be mentored. Yeah, it was a long process. And we've squeezed it. We have the opportunity with technology to make it shorter, but it's a continuous, ongoing cycle, to your point, of reinvention, reorientation, unlearning, relearning, reinforcement that we want to get people to understand in order to be successful, to make their sellers successful.
Yeah. I think there's one other learning opportunity that will never fade away, which is knowing yourself and knowing your strengths and your capabilities and investing them in a way that it leverages you in the situation. And that's not easy. Some salespeople have that negative internal dialogue that prevents them from using what they know.
That's great, particularly new salespeople, people that are entering the workforce. A lot of them are afraid. They want to be sellers, but they're afraid. They're afraid because they don't have confidence that they can close, because they don't. It isn't internal to them, and we're not mentoring them the way that we used to, right? The coach is so important in that environment. We know that. And how do we build that into a system using the technology and giving them that opportunity to even do self-assessment? Before you judge yourself, take a look. You did well. You said the right things, but nobody's reinforcing that. Who's your cheerleader? We got to cheer them on a little bit and raise them up and say, you can do it. You got it. And here's where we're telling you can do a little better, and just keep feeding them that material. There's no question. And there's a way to do it, which is what is really important, that doesn't break the bank, right? We got to do it efficiently and effectively.
On time and on budget. Yeah.
You bet. So,
well, I'm very excited about your morning keynote at 9:10 a.m. and you can sign up for this event at no cost virtually. So use that QR code and sign up, and don't miss this amazing keynote, because I think that we all need to rethink how to shape the human mind for higher performance. And there's no better person than Marc McNamara to help you win. Thank you so much for joining us, and sign up for the event, and look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas.
Thanks, everybody.